Hey, this is Runamuck saying the following video is not for 13 or under. Remember, you gotta be 13 or older to watch some of this stuff. Anyway, on with the review.
Hey guys, Master Farr here, and I'm back with another custom, and today we're once again delving into the black hole that was 2020 and Earthrise. Specifically, we're talking about the Netflix series. Now, here's the thing. With Wave 2, we definitely had some good figures. Wheeljack, Red Alert, Impactor, all good stuff. But there were some, let's say, questionable additions. Now, the fact that we got Impactor here and not scrap-faced, I can accept that. Those two should have been swapped around, but that's besides the point. Specifically with the Voyagers, Optimus Prime and Soundwave. Now, Optimus, fine. I don't get why they couldn't use the, the Siege one, but whatever. It's still a nice looking figure. But Soundwave was the biggest confusion. Mainly because of how it's basically just his G1 alt mode of an old Walkman, and it really didn't fit in with the other stuff. And I've always had this theory that Earthrise was canceled mainly because, 3 waves. But yeah, now here's the thing. I would have gladly been able to get that Soundwave because I wasn't really a big fan of the Siege one. It had some ugliness to it, let's say. Some impurities. Specifically that horrid alt mode, which was redundant since we already had the lamppost, but here's the thing. There were a few things here where I live that didn't show up. We didn't get Bumblebee, we didn't get Elita 1, and we didn't get Soundwave. Which was a damn shame, because I really wanted that Soundwave and wanted to sell the Siege one. But unfortunately, that never came to be, and I am not paying those scalper prices online. So, here I am. I thought, why not just redo the old one and make it new? So, I bought some things off Shapeblade, and here's the result. Ladies and gentlemen, my take on Earthrise Soundwave. So let's get on to the old gym mat. Let me show you what I've done. Starting off in alt mode, you can see that I've basically totally redone Soundwave. I mean, just bringing in Sound Blaster for a second, you can see that the two are practically different in all regards. Now, with Soundwave, you can see he's basically done up as his iconic Walkman that he's been portrayed as throughout the years. But if you're wondering how he's standing, because I use these two Shapewave parts right here, it's mainly from these two arms right here that he's propped up on. Could be a little more stable, but it does the job. As for colors, you can see that they're mainly based on the Netflix figure, because if I can't get it, I might as well make it look like it. But yeah, I'm a little bitter from not having that one. But yeah, as you can see here, the main differences in this mode, if they're not obvious, is I've taken off parts where the flaps used to be and the entire back has been removed. Specifically, the pin's been taken out, but yeah. As for other gimmicks in this mode, opening up the chest, you can still place some cassettes in there and it still fits well. As for the chest itself, opening it up, you can see I've actually painted the inside, not the outside, because I really do like this shattering glass detail. It kind of gives it a cooler aesthetic. But yeah, mainly the biggest takeaway from this mode is just the fact he looks a lot better and doesn't look like a hideous space brick with a few redundant wings. But yeah, and for those of you wondering, he can definitely do the lamppost mode, and thanks to the new parts, it looks even more like it did in G1. But yeah, getting back to cassette mode, here he is with my last custom, Hound, my next review, Orion Packs, and of course, once again, Sound Blaster. And just viewing a quick 360-degree rotation, you can see that it's completely night and day. I mean, I literally had every part redone. Like, you'll see more of what I've done in robot mode, but I'm just really impressed that they've overlooked it too much. Like, let me just say it, the Siege version was kind of overdone, like over complex. But here, I just feel like with all the fat trimmed off, it comes off as a much better product. But with all that being said, onto robot mode. Now with the transformation out of the way, here we have Soundwave in his new robot mode. And starting off, you can see that the silhouette is basically completely different. I mean, without all those shoulder pylons and extra guns and little unnecessary kibbly bits, it really does look a lot better overall. And hell, I honestly think it may even beat out, the Netflix one even. But yeah, starting off by looking at him from the toes, you can see that I actually have painted over most of the cybernetic detail, mainly the traffic light shins as I call them, in silver. I also had some yellow where some gold used to be, as well as some silver where the black was. I did leave some of the siege scratches because, they look kind of cool. The chest again is mainly meant to mimic the Netflix one, so you can see it's done up in a bright yellow. The shoulders themselves are done up in a metallic gold right there to make it look more G1 accurate. And as for the head sculpt itself, I actually had to take it apart and paint the inside, so unfortunately, no light piping. Sorry, you guys. But taking a look at it from a 360-degree angle, as you can see right here, there are a lot of differences. For example, starting off, there's no backbite, but as you can see right here, there is a new peg right here. Now, the process of getting this 5mm peg on his back is actually a pretty interesting one. As you can see, I originally wanted to keep the siege compatibility, which was unfortunately something I couldn't keep with Hound. So I figured I might as well Dremel a little 5mm hole. Unfortunately, I think I drilled it a little too much, as you can see right here, where the glue is, that it was a little bit too big. So I was kind of stuck. I had this unsightly hole in the back and nothing could go there. So I figured, I looked around a little at some of the leftover parts and I came across this piece, the leg flap on the side. Now, as you remember from alt mode, these aren't there anymore because, I had to take them off. And the little clips where they were actually clipped off as well. So I figured I might as well do something with these, so I did. I basically cut off right here, this main part right here, and right here, in order to make it like a little square of a 5mm peg. I then proceeded to hot glue it onto the back right here until it was straight, and it actually holds pretty well. In fact, as you can see right here, when I put in a little weaponizer gun right here, it actually turns out pretty well, and taking it off, it doesn't come off with the weaponizer. Now, here's the cool thing. As a result of that, here's all that's left. So, I got pretty much a lot out of just so little. But yeah. Now, articulation on the guy is pretty much the same as before. However, now I honestly feel like it looks a lot less congested thanks to the lack of a backpack that was on the original figure. As for comparisons, here he is next to Hound, Orion Pax, and of course, Sound Blaster. And my god, these two are completely night and day, especially from the back. Just look at the backs on these two. Mine is completely clean compared to this old one. In fact, what was even the point of this old back anyway? Hell, what was even the point of the space barge? Why not just make it lamppost? Hell, you probably would have had less kibble as evident here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this guy in a nutshell. Now, with all that being said about Soundwave, I feel like I've done a pretty good job on this guy. Even though I'll probably never get the Netflix one for a good price, I'm still pretty happy with how this turned out, especially with these little parts from Shapeways that really seal the deal. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me this time. So this is Master Farr signing off. Link to today's product in the description below, and I will see you next time with another video.